Hey everybody, today I'm showing you the Inoviva slushie maker. It makes those frozen drinks without any ice. You just put your ingredients in this. Make sure it has more than 5% sugar or under 16% alcohol. And all this information is available in the manual. And you close it. This actually lets you remove and put this back in. The blade is removable. This part is removable. That's removable, obviously. You choose the program, wine, cocktail, and you're ready to go. Now, the problem with this is a lot of people don't want to actually have that kind of sugar. If you just go with the standard zero sugar content, you're not going to be able to actually make ice. So I've done a lot of research, and apparently you'll be able to do this with allulose. This is a 0-calorie sweetener. Now, you have to adjust the recipe if you're going from sugar to something like this. I don't know if it actually works, but I'll be going to test it anyway. I have this zero sugar drink that I'm going to add and see if I can make a slushy out of it. Now I can add sugar to this and pull it off. I don't want to do that. I want to actually go with something that doesn't have sugar, or at least the effects of sugar. Because of the way it is, it's not going to have the same effect as regular sugar. Now I'm going to test this. First, before getting it started, you want to clean this, wash it, and then add the ingredients. You can dispense your drinks with this. These are the programs that are available. You can choose the cleaning function, for example, and it just rotates this. You stop this. For a slushy, you can change thickness. Just gonna add water from here. I'm gonna do basic cleaning. I'm just gonna close this. I'm gonna choose the cleaning program and just let it run. This function, the log function, comes on after a minute to make sure your settings are not messed with. Now this is done, you hear a beep, and the same applies when your drink is ready. Because I'm testing this without actually knowing that it works, I'm going to make sure that add as much as this as possible. Just fill this to the minimum here. Add it from the top. I think that's more than enough. As far as this sort of looks like sugar. It just doesn't taste like sugar. At least it's not as sweet. Based on my experience, the way your body processes this is a little bit different. I can mix this with a little bit of water and add it there. I can just try to do it like this. We'll see how it works out. I'm just gonna add this and let's see. I'm just gonna add this here. I have no idea how much I have to add. I'm just gonna maybe go a little bit overboard. Just wanna see if it's possible to make this without sugar, which would be really great because I personally don't like actually having sugar. And I'm sure a lot of you don't either. Just mix it, make sure that it's ready to go, and then you put it in there. Now if I add too much, it's because I'm covering this for the whole thing. It's not just for this. Now I'm just gonna close this and hope for the best. Go here. I'm gonna choose the program and then just let it run. This has 0 regular sugar. I see some action there, but I don't know how cold it's getting. It is getting pretty cold. The rest of the body doesn't really get that warm. 83 degrees, again, it's not that much. The main part is this one that gets cool. Even if it doesn't complete, it just gives me the idea that it's possible, because a lot of people can't have sugar. To be able to enjoy this in summer without actually having to worry about sugar content, it's personally important to me, but a lot of people actually don't get these things because they worry about that and they don't want to add, you know, something that has a lot of sugar in it, or they don't want to have it in their diet or on a low carb diet. I haven't heard too many bad things about it as far as side effects. Now they say that if you add too much, it may not form and keep shape. So I've actually added a little bit more drink to maybe dilute it a little bit, because I think I added too much allulose and that could have affected this. As we see, it gets cold, forming ice. The problem is actually keeping its shape especially when you choose a high thickness level for it. And that is something that you probably want to figure out via trial and error. If you add too much allulose, it will not keep its shape. If you add too little, it will not form ice. So you have to get the right balance. It says that it's ready. It doesn't seem like completely formed, so it is sort of a slushy, but it's not at the thickness level that I want. I think the problem is that I added too much allulose. I want to make sure that the machine doesn't end up having issues with low sugar content. It's still ice, so you can see it formed. It's just not as thick as I wanted it. So let's try that. Let's add a little bit more, dilute it a little bit more. I would say this is level 2 instead of level 3 or 4. Now I've diluted this a little bit, added a little bit more drink, no allulose. Let's see if this becomes thicker. We'll see. Some people say that half a teaspoon for 8 ounces is something that you may want to consider. I added a lot more than that. I know that for a fact because I wanted to make sure that ice forms. But the downside is if you add too much of it, it will stay like this, so it's a little bit looser. So it seems to be a little bit thicker now. See, it's not much thicker. I didn't add any extra allulose. I just removed a little bit of the drink, just added a little bit more without the allulose content. Have to get your ratio right to have a thick slushy without sugar, and this seems to have done it. And now it's ready. See, it's now much thicker. Probably can be even a little bit more. As you can see, it is pretty thick and no sugar involved. Great for summer, and you don't have to feel bad about sugar in your diet anyway. Now you can try different drinks. I just wanted to test it with a 0 sugar drink. You can try coming up with your own concoctions that you know exactly what's in your drink. Just the ingredient that actually makes it happen is this. And there are various sizes available that you can buy. I bought this one and it seems to have done the job. Just don't add too much or too little. And at least that's based on my experience. When I added too much, ice formed, but it wasn't holding shape. When I added too little, the machine just beeped because it wasn't having enough content.